Hey there, guys. Music fan here again. I want to start a new segment of videos, which I will call track by track reviews. Now, essentially, if you watch my videos before this one, you would know that oftentimes in certain album reviews, I would do a track by track analysis of all the tracks off the album. But then lately, when I was looking back at some of my earlier videos, and when I would do track by track reviews, I would often find that like it would just make the review a lot more laborious to go through and a lot more of a lot more tedious to kind of watch like a 25-minute video, which I look back and I think like that's just absolutely ludicrous. So in an effort to kind of make my reviews more concise and more accessible, I thought that maybe I'd make videos that would take out the track by track review out of my reviews and be videos onto themselves. So essentially, what you're getting is a video with me going in depth by each and every track off an album, and me making a comment or two about that song as I wind down off the tracks off the album. So for this, I'm gonna start with Linkin Park's sixth studio album. The Hunting Party was released this year, a month or two ago. So I'm going to go through each and every single track one by one and say a comment about them. So the first song we get from this album is Keys to the Kingdom. This is their most visceral and aggressive opener to an album, I would say, since Hybrid Theory, since Paper Cut. And like I just love how the song starts off with like Chester just screaming like almost literally into your ear. Well, obviously into your ear, but even more so, it's like no control, no surprise. Does the key to the kingdom down that hole in my heart? It's just so fun to listen to, like just to hear that jolt of energy just go through you. And then the rest of the band starts in, and it's just amazing. It signifies that the aggressive Linkin Park has returned. They've come back, and guess what? They are taking no prisoners whatsoever. Mike Shinoda's rapping here is just like straight fun to hear, and it's just it's so fun to hear him like rapping on this particular song. Like they could say flow, they say flow. It's just so fun to listen to. And then the follow up song, All for Nothing, featuring Paige Hamilton of Helmet. If I heard correctly, this song was created during the sessions, and Mike Shinoda had commented that this song essentially sounded very much like a Helmet song. So hence they brought Paige Hamilton from Helmet and for him to guest spot on this song, and he sings on the chorus. I just love how dynamic and how surging the chorus is on this song. It flows straight through, and it really gets into you the way the chorus goes. And I love the whole dynamic of this song. Like I love how the riffs go. I love how the guitars go. I love Mike Shinoda's rapping flow on here. It's just really, really good, and it's just super catchy. I love it. I really, really do. The first single released from this album, Guilty All the Same, featuring a guest spot by Rakim. Like the first time I heard this song, I was really taken aback because this song sounded exactly like something Linkin Park would do in the older days, except pre-Hybrid Theory. This song, like the other songs off this album, is chock full of just tons and tons of riffs. Especially with this one having more thrash metal like riffs on here that just goes throughout. It's just splendid to hear. The other thing I have to mention is Rob Bourdon. Rob Bourdon, as I've said in my re-review of this album, makes a killer presence on this album, as does Brad Delson. This, especially on this song. And this song is just awesome. It's just mentioning about people who uses greed and money to get what they want, and they are guilty all the same because of their greed and their lust for power. Rakim also makes a guest verse on here, and his verse is just straight bullet point on the mark. His flow is just absolutely impeccable and very immaculate. Like each and every word and each and every stop that he makes in his flow is just mathematically calculated, and it's no wonder why he's considered one of the greatest rappers to ever grace a mic in hip hop and in music in general. So that's Guilty All the Same. The fourth track, The Summoning, is an introduction instrumental. It kind of starts out with this various collages of sounds and like a lot of these different noises, and as the track keeps going, the noises keep getting louder and louder and louder, and I'm just here listening, thinking, am I going to become deaf to this? It ends, I think, it ends with a sample of somebody throwing something out a window and then running away. And then the next track, War. My gosh. I know I've said this many, many times throughout the past two reviews of this very album, but War, my gosh. This song, in about 2 minutes in length, maybe 3, just almost about 3 minutes. In that one song, they completely demolish everything that they have done in prior to this song. I would even include even Hybrid Theory. Sorry guys, but as much as I love Hybrid Theory, and I really love Hybrid Theory, this one song just trumps even Hybrid Theory off the map. This song combines a lot of different aggressive genres on here. There's a thrash metal influence, there's a metal influence, there's a post-hardcore influence, there's like a tough aggressive visceralness on this song that hasn't really been prominent in Linkin Park since Hybrid Theory and Meteora. Chester is at his most viscerally aggressive as far as his vocal is concerned, because his vocal is just so tight and very like, you better be prepared to fight. It is like this blood curdling, adrenaline pumping vocal that just amps you up, that just this and energizes this jolt of energy in you and just makes you want to, I don't know even what to put. It makes you want to, yeah. And it is just phenomenal how just aggressive and just how just ominous Chester sounds with this song. And again, Rob Bourdon, this is his. I said in the Living Things review that Victimized from that album is Rob Bourdon's best drumming. Well, now I think this song has trumped that song, as Rob Bourdon's drumming is just killer. It is killer. It is murderous. It is straight in your face. And like this song, it just does not let up. It just grabs you by the throat, pins you against the wall, leaves you dangling in there for about 2 minutes, and then once that's over, let's go. And it's a no take hold, take no prisoners kind of song. Brad Delson's guitar solos here, take no prisoners. Nothing gets out alive with this guitar solo. Everything dies. And yeah, that's War for you. The next song following this is Wastelands, and this song follows this song pretty nicely, I have to say. Wastelands. It has like a really kind of tough, like crunchy guitar going with the like and I love the crunchy guitar. I love how the guitars sound with this album, with this song on here. And Chester's vocaling on the verses and the chorus, especially the choruses, are just awesome. They are just straight amazing. And like, yeah, that's Wastelands for you. Until It's Gone. It's the most 1,000 Suns Living Things like track on this album, except the only thing not present there is the electronics. And this song is very anthemic. It's the most anthemic song on here. All the songs here are anthemic in a way, but this is like the most one that will be suited for radio. Is suited for radio. more or less. And this song is very dynamic. This song is very flowing. This song really is flowing in its dynamic and its intensity, and has a little bit of a little bit of an electronic thing going on, especially as it goes into the last part of the verses and the choruses and the end of the song. Kind of ends off with this awesome hip hop part that segue into the next track, Rebellion, featuring Daron from System of a Down. This is a very Toxicity like track, obviously, because Daron is there and he performs the guitar part on here. It's just an awesome song. I love this song. This song has this, Daron's guitar playing on here gives this track a drive, gives this track a feel of energy, and his riffing really pulses this song and pulses the listener as well if you listen to it. And Mike Shinoda and Chester Bennington make a great dynamicism off each other, like they do with many other Linkin Park songs, with this unique dynamicism between them. And this song is, of course, proof of that. I really love this song. I really, really do. Mark the Graves. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice. Is probably the most Deftones-like track on here. Like, if you heighten the reverb of Brad's guitars and you make it a little bit more bigger and very, if you make the guitar sound a lot more bigger and fuller, then definitely it's the most Deftones-like track on here. If you consider that the breaks in rhythm, the shifting in the riffs, a lot of riffings on here, and it's definitely like that. And it's probably the most, if you look at the lyrics to Mark the Graves, it definitely sounds like the most love song on here. Like, if you listen to that, it almost sounds like I have hurt this, I have caused a lot of pain to this person, but at least I left something behind, or something like that. You know, like it's such a, it almost as if it could belong to a ballad, but lyrically it's the most ballad-like lyric that belongs to a hard rocking song, which I would say is very unique in my opinion. And then the next track, Drawbar. Now I know what you guys must have been thinking when you first heard that Tom Morello was going to be on here. The common thing was thinking of, like, oh my gosh, Tom Morello is going to be some crazy DJ scratching in his guitar. The band jamming in the background is going to be amazing. But yet it turns out to be a instrumental. It turns out to be a really soft instrumental at that. And it just features Tom Morello strumming on a guitar and some piano thing going on, and Rob's drumming kind of supporting it very, like, the whole way through. And as I've said in my reviews in the past, this song is disappointing to me, but in the times I've heard it since then, I've come to understand its place on the album. I've realized that every last few songs off a Linkin Park album, maybe apart from 1,000 Suns, is an instrumental, which kind of segues into this last bit here into the album, which of course segues into Final Masquerade, which is probably one of the most softest tracks on here, and yet it still has a propulsing rock feel to it. This song definitely is a kind of an indicator of, this is the last straw, so we will get our military and go on and fight against the enemy. And this song's dynamic is definitely surging. I really love how the guitars are on here. I really love the drumming. I love how just so deep this song is, and it definitely is a deep song. And then the last track, A Line in the Sand, I would say ends off this album very perfectly, I have to say. Like, it starts off with Mike Shinoda singing. It starts off with like thunder, lightning in the background, and then it heads into this really sweet rock part, you know, like where it starts off with Rob Borden's drumming, pulsing this song, driving this song. Then Brad's guitars come in, and then in comes the song. This song is very stark. It's very. The song starts off with like, "Yeah, you're gonna get yours. Bring me back what's mine." So this is like a final charge kind of song against whichever, probably an enemy or a government or whichever. And this really ends this album very nicely, I have to say. I have to say, like Drawbar, I was disappointed at first, but because I had thought that Linkin Park would end this album off in a very crazy, frenzy kind of way. But this album, I mean, this song ends this off very nicely, I have to say. Really ends this on a hush note, on a very quiet note, and it really rounds this album off very perfectly. So, this has been my track-by-track review. Tell me what you think. What is your favorite songs off this album? What is your least favorite songs off this album? I have to say War is my favorite song and Drawbar is my least one. So yeah, this has been my track-by-track review. Take care, guys. I will see you later. Bye-bye.